Hello there. Hope you're doing well. It is Wednesday, October the 15th, 2025, and just got home from work and I was talking to a coworker just in passing down the hall and just thinking about, wow, this year is just flying by. I mean, it's already October. It's already getting ready to get into the holiday season here. It's just this year is just flown by so fast. And I think that is probably a sentiment that is shared by most of you out there. But it's a blessing to be here. So I am glad that you are joining me this evening, or if you're catching this on replay tonight, we are going to share reactions to the Criterion Collection's announcements of the first titles coming out from this esteemed label in the year 2026. So they've announced their January 2026 titles. They're closing out the year 2025 pretty strong, and we'll take a look at some of those titles. But we're going to spend most of our time reacting to these new titles that have been announced from Criterion to start off the new year. So very excited about that. And I'm really looking forward to hearing in the comments section and during this live stream. And for those of you joining on replay, really want to get your sense of what is your take of this January 26, 2026 slate? Are you excited? What is your temperature gauge of excitement for this slate of titles? I think it's a pretty solid slate, but I definitely want to hear from you what you think about it. So without any further ado, on the other side of this, let's talk about Criterion's January 26th lineup. Let's go. Earlier today, this morning, I guess around 11:30 in the morning, Eastern Daylight Time here in the United States of America, the Criterion Collection announced their 2026 titles for January. So was very excited to see this slate of titles. It's a it's another beautiful, bountiful, eclectic slate of titles where there's different types of films from filmmakers from around the world and just something for everybody. So a very nice selection of titles that we're going to go through this evening. I do want to capture some comments. I also need to pull up something, which I will pull up an item that I forgot to download, but I want to capture your comments and see what you're thinking out there. We have Fives. Hello from across the pond, James. Hello to you as well. That is awesome that you're across the pond. I really had a great time over there a few months ago, back in June at the beginning of the summer. So hope you're doing well. The Movie Addict, hello. Always great to see you. Great to hear from you as well. So very excited about that, Movie Addict. We have William saying hello. Happy for with Raul Julia. Oh, Kiss of the Spiderwoman. Yes, yes. That's an exciting title. That's a title that's been rumored for a long time and is now coming full circle, getting officially announced for the collection. Good thing I waited to buy Yi Yi on 4K. Jason, I'm right with you. I've seen Yi Yi in Barnes & Noble for years, always held off on it, and I'm with you. I'm glad that I waited as well. We have Hivite Stod. Hi, friends. Hello to you as well. Always great to see you. Also, always great to see Adrian James from across the pond. Hope you're doing well across the pond there, as it is, I guess the clock is about to turn to Thursday for you. So glad that you're up and able to join us this time of the evening. We have Island 007100. Hi, James. I wish time would slow down, but 2026 kicks off with some great new titles. Yeah, time waits for nobody, Island 007100. I mean, it is just flying by. It's already October. We just brought in the new year. It's already October 15th. I mean, it is time to look forward to Thanksgiving, Christmas, and pretty soon we'll all be singing Auld Lang Syne. So time waits for nobody. Jason says, finally, Captain Blood on 4K. That's a very interesting title. You have Errol Flynn in that film. And I'm wondering, is this Errol Flynn's entry into the Criterion Collection? Is he on any other Criterion titles? Let us know in the comments section if you know the answer to that. Let's see. Yi Yi is one I still need to see. Me too. But I only need to Blu-ray, no 4K capability. Okay, fair enough. However you see it, I'm sure it will be an enjoyable experience. Yi Yi is probably my second favorite film of all time. Amazing to see it come to 4K. Now, that's high praise. Second favorite film of all time. Okay. Love my Criterion Blu-ray. Okay. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I've seen one other title from Edward Yang that I'll get into when we get to Yi Yi. So I'm very excited to check out Yi Yi for the first time and to see it on the 4K format. Yeah, the clocks go back in a few weeks. Yes, yes, I believe the first week of November, first Sunday of November, I believe. And let's see. Hi, James. Excited to see these new titles, especially Kiss of the Spider-Woman. Yeah, like I said, when I saw this slate of titles, I thought to myself, wow, Criterion's not messing around. I mean, they had a bountiful selection of titles for December, big titles for January. Those are typically months where you don't where in the past at least you have not seen a ton of titles from Criterion in some years, but looks like that has changed. They are putting out a lot of great content month after month after month. And that is very, very exciting to see. So let me pull up a little slide here that I forgot to download. I will go ahead and bring it up now. I tell you what, we have to we have to do some things. I do apologize. I need to, yeah, here it is. Need to bring up my slides here that I'm going to refer to. I just have a couple prepared for this evening, and then we'll go to the Criterion site and react to these titles. Uploading is doing that circling, is uploading. So don't y'all love waiting on things to upload? I hope y'all are having a great week, but I definitely want to hear what y'all think about these titles like Dead Man, another Nicole Kidman title in the collection. So yeah, Criterion announces January 2026 titles. What a start to the new year. And I'll tell you what, this is exciting, exciting stuff. And we're about to get into these titles because I have the Criterion site up. We're going to dive right into the titles. But before we do that, I do want to take a moment to talk about what is on a lot of people's minds, a big question that's out there. And that question is, when will the fall 50% off Criterion sales happen? When will the fall 50% off Criterion sales happen? And the long and short of it is, at least as far as I know, I do not know. I have not heard any formal announcement. Of course, as we all know, if history holds the form, we should expect to see a 50% off flash sale on the criterion.com site shortly before what we expect to be another November Barnes and Noble 50% off Criterion sales. So if that history holds the form, and there's no guarantee it will, but assuming it does, then we should expect to see a flash sale on the Criterion site pretty soon. When? We don't know. We have not heard officially yet. Typically, Criterion will send an email to Criterion channel subscribers or what have you, and offer like a 10% off coupon for use in the flash sale that will come that following Tuesday. And so if that history holds the form, perhaps we might see something over the weekend that may indicate a flash sale for this Tuesday, the 21st, if it happens. Nothing's been announced yet. We don't know for sure or at all, but hopeful that we might see a flash sale this coming Tuesday. So we'll just keep our eyes peeled for that. Could happen or it might not happen. As far as the Barnes and Noble sale, that typically happens shortly after that Criterion flash sale in October. So, and typically it happens, toward the beginning of November, maybe the last Friday in October, which in this case happens to be Halloween, October 31st. So keep your eyes peeled for Tuesday, October 21st and Friday, October 31st. So we shall keep our eyes open and we'll keep you posted once we get official announcements of these sales. So that's a quick little PSA on that. So now, without any further ado, let's get into these wonderful titles here. So I will share my screen and we will go right into it. Hopefully this will work. Let's see. Boom. All right. This is exactly what we want to see. This is January titles announced. Browse the latest slate of films coming to the Criterion Collection on 4K, Blu-ray, and DVD. Shop now. I'm not going to shop now, but I'm going to look now. How about that? You see Kate Blanchett and Bradley Cooper here in Nightmare Alley that's coming out on 4K Ultra HD pretty soon. Let's take a quick perusal here of the titles that are coming out here pretty shortly here. So we actually have, and I did not realize this, but next week, Altered States is coming out on 4K Ultra HD on October the 21st. That is very interesting. So if we do get a flash sale on this Tuesday, the 21st, that'd be a great time to pick up Altered States. So we shall see. Nightmare Alley is coming out on the 28th on 4K Ultra HD, Guillermo del Toro's film, which is what you see pictured here with Kate Blanchett and Bradley Cooper. I have not seen this version of Nightmare Alley, but I have seen the classic one starring Tyrone Power, which is excellent. But for those of you who have seen this, let me know in the comments section, what do you think about Guillermo del Toro or GDT's version of Nightmare Alley? This is one that I'm very interested in, Deep Crimson. I love the cover and I love the premise. I find the premise very fascinating. That's coming out on 4K Ultra HD from Arturo Ripstein. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, we get a 4K upgrade of The Breakfast Club, which a lot of people are excited about, coming from John Hughes. Now, this is a title that I already have on Blu-ray. For now, I am holding off on upgrading The Breakfast Club. I'm perfectly happy with it on Blu-ray. Don't really feel the need to run out and grab this on 4K. House Party is coming out on 4K. Super excited about that. You have Burden of Dreams coming out on 4K from Les Blank. We have the revival of the Eclipse series in the Criterion collection with Abbas Kiarostami, an impressive looking box set of early films, early shorts and features from Abbas Kiarostami, one of the great directors in the Criterion collection. You have Hell's Angels getting a 4K release that I'm super excited about. This is from Howard Hughes, as well as Louis Buñuel's Elle. These are two 4K editions coming out. And then November is rounding out with a Thanksgiving week release of Stanley Kubrick's last film, the master Stanley Kubrick. He put out Eyes Wide Shut in 1999, starring Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. So I have never seen Eyes Wide Shut. I've heard a lot about it. I'm looking forward to checking it out. The cover is a source of a lot of debate. A lot of people are not happy about this cover. I'm kind of speechless about it. I don't know what to think about it, but I'm definitely looking forward to checking out this film. You have Return to Reason. You got 4 films by Man Ray. His Girl Friday getting a 4K upgrade in December. This is one I have on Blu-ray. I probably won't be upgrading this title, but it is a 4K offering coming up. You have Mira Nair giving us Salam Bombay, which I believe that's coming out on 4K. Excellent. So Mira Nair gave us Mississippi Masala starring Denzel Washington and Sarita Choudhury. So she also did this film called Salam Bombay. And then we get another Powell and Pressburger collaboration. I Know Where I'm Going. This is coming out on 4K Ultra HD in early December. So super excited about that. A lot of people are excited about Pee-wee's Big Adventure. My initial reaction to this one was, I don't know about that. But I keep hearing people being very excited about this title. So this is one I may end up picking up in December. So we shall see. Pee-wee's Big Adventure coming out on 4K. And then a Spike Lee joint, David Byrne's American Utopia, coming out in December to close out the releases for 2025 from the Criterion Collection. So that now brings us to the month of January, a new year. What is Criterion bringing to the fore in the month of January? And they're kicking off the month with an upgrade of an existing title in the Criterion Collection. So this is interesting because this is a film that I have on Blu-ray that I still have not fully watched. I've only seen a few minutes of Dead Man by Jim Jarmusch. So I need to actually watch this film. It stars Johnny Depp. Yes, Johnny Depp is in this film, and I just haven't seen all of this film. So I need to finish watching this. But yeah, let me know what you think about this film in the comments section. But I had this on Blu-ray. This is getting a 4K release So it's going to be available on January the 6th on the 4K format and the 4K Blu-ray combo pack. Still available on Blu-ray and also a DVD offering. So that is great to know. Please note that on the back it says a 4K digital restoration. So what that tells us is this is the same 4K restoration that was on this Blu-ray, because when this Blu-ray came out, it said new 4K digital restoration. So now we're seeing 4K digital restoration here. That tells us it's the same 4K restoration now put on a 4K disc. So supervised by Jarmusch with a 2.0 surround DTS HD master audio soundtrack. Let's see, there's no indication of Dolby Vision, which is fine. You know, they make a judgment as to whether or not Dolby Vision would bring value to the picture quality or not. And oftentimes, their releases that don't have Dolby Vision, I don't really miss it. I mean, it looks terrific. So this hopefully will be, for those of you who get this 4K, may get the same experience. But other than that, I think all of the features that are on here are the same features that are on the original Blu-ray release. So this is an opportunity for those of you who did not get Dead Man on Blu-ray. This is an opportunity to get it on the 4K format. So that is super exciting. For me, I'm going to hold off. I need to watch this film first and then decide, is this a film I even, enjoy enough to even consider that? But for the most part, I think I'm going to be perfectly happy sticking with my Blu-ray for this title. This is a film from 1995. It comes in at 121 minutes and it is in black and white. So it is existing spine number 919. So very, very interesting, coming out January the 6th. Dead Man, a film by Jim Jarmusch, who is a brilliant filmmaker in the collection. In fact, since we're getting close to some Barnes & Noble and flash sale activity, hopefully, let's take a look at Jim Jarmusch here in the collection, because there are several titles that you're going to want to keep in mind as far as titles to consider from this director. One of my first, I think my first exposure to Jim Jarmusch was Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, starring Forrest Whitaker. Excellent film. It's a bit of a genre bender of a film, but this is a really cool film with an excellent soundtrack by RZA. I definitely recommend Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai. You have Stranger Than Paradise, which is a really interesting film. Mystery Train, Night on Earth, Down by Law. All of these films I have seen. The only one I have not seen is Dead Man. So I definitely need to check out Dead Man. But all the other titles in the collection from Jim Jarmusch, I can highly recommend with a double thumbs up. He is definitely a solid director in the collection. All right. Speaking of solid directors in the collection, a week after Dead Man from Jim Jarmusch comes out, we get this release here from Edward Yang of a title that I've seen in Barnes & Noble for years. I mean, every time that we had the Barnes & Noble sale, I would flip through the titles in the store, and I come across this title here, Yee Yee, and I thought, interesting. I see this little boy with his back turned and the title Yee Yee. Okay, what is this about? But I've always held off on picking it up. And now I'm glad that I did, because now I have an opportunity to get this on 4K Blu-ray. So it's coming out on January 13th. It's going to be available on 4K Blu-ray combo pack on Blu-ray and DVD. So that's great. I do not have this on any format, so this will be my first time picking this up. This is the extraordinary, internationally embraced Yee Yee, directed by the late Taiwanese master Edward Yang. And it follows a middle-class family in Taipei, Taiwan, over the course of 1 year, beginning with a wedding and ending with a funeral, whether chronicling middle-aged father NJ's tentative flirtations with an old flame or precocious young son Yang Yang's attempts at capturing reality with his beloved camera, the filmmaker deftly imbues every gorgeous frame with a compassionate clarity. Warm, sprawling, and dazzling, this intimate epic is one of the undisputed masterworks of the 21st century. So this comes in at 173 minutes. It's from 2000. It's out of Taiwan. It's in color. It's in Mandarin. And it comes in at spine number 339. So this is spine 339. Now, this is very notable because it says here, new 4K digital restoration. So we're getting a new 4K digital restoration of this film, which is great to see. So it's going to get a new 4K restoration for this 4K release. There is no indication of any Dolby Vision, and in terms of the features here, it looks like the features, including the commentary and the interview that's on here, not plentiful in terms of features, but it looks like it's the same features that likely were on the original Blu-ray release. So that's exciting. I definitely plan to pick this title up. In fact, this will be probably my first pickup of the year from the Criterion collection in 2026. Will be Yi Yi from Edward Yang on the 4K format. I will be getting that day one when it comes out. I am super excited about this. The only other film I've seen from Edward Yang is this one right here, A Brighter Summer Day, which is absolutely phenomenal. It is an epic, epic film. And of course, you see here other titles from Yang in the collection, including this trilogy of films, I believe, this Confusion, Mahjong, or two films here, which come in this set. You have those films, you have Brighter Summer Day and Yi Yi. So Brighter Summer Day is an absolutely fantastic film that was recommended to me. Well, actually, I already had this in my collection. And then I appeared on Daisuke Beppu's channel, a number of years ago, and he recommended, watching it. So I finally dusted the dust off of my copy, watched it, popped it in the player, and saw it for the first time and was blown away. So I definitely appreciate that recommendation. It is an amazing film from an amazing director. And so I'm super excited to check out Yi Yi from Edward Yang. So that is very, very exciting stuff. So let me go to one more title here, and then we'll pop out to see your comments. Martin Scorsese's World Cinema Project number 5. It's always exciting seeing these announcements. Now, I only have one of these World Cinema Projects. I think it's number 3, but this is number 5 from Martin Scorsese. A number of titles from films from around the world, including Burkina Faso, which is basically in Western Africa. And you have a title from India, Kazakhstan, and Algeria from 1975, 1986, 1979, and 1991. So this is Martin Scorsese working with his film foundation to go out and rescue films, restore them, give new life to these films, and with beautiful restorations so that they can be enjoyed by future generations. So this was established by Martin Scorsese in 2007, and they have maintained a fierce commitment to preserving and presenting masterpieces from around the globe, with a growing roster of more than 60 restorations of works by essential filmmakers. So super exciting. Chronicle of the Years of Fire, Yam Dabo, Kumati, The Fall of Orchard. So I'm not familiar with these films, but they are all 4K digital restorations of these films. And that is just super exciting. You get some interviews, new introductions by Martin Scorsese. So there's a lot of love and passion that's put into these restorations. So it is always exciting to see Martin Scorsese doing his thing, restoring these classic films. That, I believe, is in addition to his incredible contribution to cinema in the films he has directed, like Goodfellas and Casino and all the amazing films he's directed. I think even beyond that, his mark on cinema is without a doubt not complete if you don't mention the great restoration work that he has done through the years rescuing these films. So bravo to Scorsese for his great efforts in that space. Let's see. Let's see what comments you all have here. Second favorite, clocks go back. Yeah, we talked about that. All right. Time can go by quickly, or it can seem to linger. Days of Being Wild. Okay. Have not seen that. I really like Dead Man, so that's one that'll get at some point. Yeah, I already have it on Blu-ray, so I need to actually watch it. Let me see how long it is. It's just 2 hours, so 121 minutes. So Got to watch it one of these days. Let's see. Can't go wrong with Edward Yang. Got the newest Criterion double feature of his coming very soon. Can't wait. If you can get your hands on a copy of his film Terrorizers, I would highly recommend. Okay. That is good to know. See, I definitely need to see Dead Man and more Jarmusch in general. Yeah. His films, I just love his films. They're all terrific. Let's see. Dead Man is a superb film. Absolutely love Jarmusch. Yeah, good stuff. Errol Flynn, first film in the collection is Captain Blood. So that is a confirmation from Jason on that. Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought, but just wanted to get some confirmation on that. I only have Ghost Dog in my collection, and that's a good one. That is a really, really cool one. That is such a cool role from Forrest Whitaker, playing a very different type of a character in a genre-bending film. We have here Love Edward Yang. Would be awesome to get a 4K of Brighter Summer Day. Yeah, you never know. This was, well, interestingly enough, Brighter Summer Day, this Blu-ray says here, new 4K digital restoration. So they already have a 4K restoration of this, that perhaps they would use that to put out a 4K of it at some point. That would be incredible. Calling it, the flash sale will be next week. Well, yeah, that's my thought as well. It has not been formally announced, but definitely, keeping my eyes peeled for noontime Tuesday the 21st. So we shall see. Ghost Dog is brilliant. My favorite Jarmusch is definitely Mystery Chain. The Criterion is absolutely worth a pickup. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It is rumored that the Criterion 50% off will be best week, probably will be next week, probably Friday. Okay. Rumored next week, probably Friday. Yeah. My guess was that it would be the 31st, Halloween, on the last day of the last Friday of October, but who knows? Maybe the 24th. But we shall see. We shall see. Haven't received my Criterion Channel bonus coupon yet, so I'm thinking it's not next week, possibly the following week. Yeah, I mean, those coupons would likely come out a few days before the flash sale. So probably be on the lookout for those maybe sometime between Friday and Sunday, or Friday, over the weekend. But we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. James, have you seen The Innocents from 1961? Yes, and it is excellent, starring Deborah Kerr. Brilliant film. Fantastic film. Highly recommended. It is rumored that October Criterion sale will be next week, probably on Friday the 24th. The November sale, yeah. Yeah, possibly. You mean the Barnes Noble sale? Possibility. Don't know much about Mystery Train. Thank you. Yep. I may need to skip this sale and give my credit card a rest. That's a good call. I pre-ordered Alter States a while ago. Yes, indeed. Let's see what else everybody is saying here. Chris Alder says, greetings and fellow film lovers from Edmonton, Canada. Greetings to you as well. And Lane is looking forward to my 5th volume of Martin Scorsese's World Cinema Project. Awesome. So yeah, so some fair amount of excitement of these titles. Let's pop back in and go through the rest of these titles, and then we'll come out, look at your comments, see what you guys are thinking and feeling, and hopefully keep our fingers crossed for some sales activity coming very soon. So let's go ahead and go back into these titles. All right. So speaking of Errol Flynn, we have Michael Curtiz's Captain Blood. This stars Errol Flynn and Olivia de Havilland. This is super exciting, folks. Super exciting. Olivia de Havilland, just absolutely brilliant. She was in, I believe, The Heiress, I think I want to say. And this is just this is very exciting announcement because of that. And of course, I have not seen much of Errol Flynn, and I have seen Michael Curtiz's films such as Casablanca and Mildred Pierce that is in the collection. He's done a few films that are in the collection, which includes The Breaking Point, excellent. Mildred Pierce, excellent. So I'm expecting great things from Captain Blood. So this is with this spectacular romantic adventure, a new era of Hollywood swashbuckling was born, as was a devilishly dashing star named Errol Flynn. He brings boundless charisma to the role of an idealistic Irish physician who declared a traitor to England and sold into slavery in the New World, takes his revenge by transforming himself into the notorious pirate Captain Blood. The groundbreaking symphonic score by Eric Wolfgang Korngold, marking the emergence of the Warner Brothers music department as a vital element in the studio's movie making. The spitfire chemistry between Flynn and Olivia de Havilland in the first of their iconic pairings. So sounds interesting. I mean, I did not know that there was a pairing of Errol Flynn and Olivia de Havilland. So again, this is going to be a great discovery for me. Super excited about it. This is coming out on 4K Blu-ray combo pack, Blu-ray and DVD. So getting all those options. You're getting a new 4K digital restoration of this 1935 film. This is a film from 1935, folks. This is a 90-year-old film getting a 4K release. That's part of what I love about Criterion is you're getting some of these old, you're not just getting like newer films on 4K or films in the last 30, 40 years. They're reaching all the way back into the 1930s and doing restorations of films from the 1930s and putting them out on 4K. I mean, this is awesome. So I am super excited about this. There's no indication of Dolby Vision, which is fine. But you get an audio commentary who from an author named Alan K. Rode, who wrote Michael Curtiz, A Life in Film, a documentary from 2005 on the making of this film, a Lux Radio Theater adaptation of the film from 1937, starring Errol Flynn, Olivia de Havilland, and Basil Rathbone. So you get that 1937 Lux Radio Theater adaptation. Fantastic. These releases like this are a fantastic capsule of history in film, in history of film. So I'm super excited about it. I like the cover. I am intrigued by the story, and why not? Filmmaker that I've loved everything I've seen from him. I have never seen Errol Flynn on film before, so I've heard about him. Looking forward to checking him out. And I was blown away by Olivia de Havilland in her role in a film called The Heiress. So for those of you who have not seen The Heiress, let me go ahead and pull this up. This is a William Wyler film. And let me just confirm that it's Olivia de Havilland. Yeah. So it's Olivia de Havilland plays in this film. This is an incredible film, folks. This film is an amazing film from an acting standpoint, beautifully directed by William Wyler. But Olivia de Havilland's performance in this, fantastic, fantastic. You have Montgomery Clift in this film. This is a fantastic film. So that's another film starring Olivia de Havilland in the collection, William Wyler's The Heiress from 1949. This is Spine 974 in the collection. Highly, highly recommended. But we get an opportunity to get Captain Blood on 4K, and it is coming out January the 20th. So I am super duper double looper excited about Spine 1297. So while we're here, let's see if we can play a little bit of this video. Okay, little bit of swashbuckling action there. So I'm in. I'm looking forward to seeing it on 4K. And then we will skip over this title here. This is Caught by the Tide. This is a January entry in the Criterion Premieres line, which took over from Janet's Contemporaries. So this is Caught by the Tides coming out on Blu-ray January the 20th, the same date as Captain Blood and the same date as the Martin Scorsese World Cinema Project number 5. So pretty busy January 20th for Criterion for these three titles coming out. We now switch gears to, oh, actually, January 20th is not done because the last title coming out from Criterion on this same date is another 4K release from John Huston called The Dead. Now, this is the elegiac last film by John Huston, finds the legendary director adapting a masterly short story by his favorite writer, James Joyce, into a poignant reflection on the totality of life. During a snowy winter in turn of the century Dublin, the members of an extended family convene for a night of wine, song, and celebration, but it's not until after the festivities that Greta, Angelica Houston, reveals a secret to her husband, Donald McCann, that casts the entire evening in a new light. A glow with a mix of nostalgia and melancholy, and featuring a cast of stellar Irish actors, The Dead gracefully evokes the passage of time and the haunting power of memory. I'm intrigued. I cannot wait to hear what she tells him. And I'm not going to read anything about this title until I watch it. But this is from the United Kingdom and the United States from 1987, 83 minutes. So pretty brisk watch. It is in color, spine 12.95, coming out on 4K Blu-ray combo and Blu-ray, no DVD option, coming out January the 20th. So very interesting. You have Angelica Houston there. Of course, you have Angelica Houston starred in The Grifters that I recently reviewed on this channel. You see some of the wonderful actors here. But yeah, I'm in. Why not? Looks like a very fascinating premise. You get a new 4K digital restoration approved by the director of photography, Fred Murphy. In this case, you are getting Dolby Vision for this title. So you get a new interview with author Colum McCann on the James Joyce short story and its adaptation for the film. New 2K restoration of John Huston and the Dubliners from 1987, a behind-the-scenes documentary. So a new 2K restoration of that documentary. So very, very interesting. So this is coming out January the 20th as well from John Huston. So very, very interesting. So John Huston is Angelica Houston's father, right? I believe. Yep. So that's the connection there. But from John Huston, we have a couple of other titles in the collection already. One that I've heard of, The Asphalt Jungle, which is excellent. And one that I have not heard of. This is Under the Volcano by John Huston. I've never heard of this title before. This is available on, it was available on DVD as Spy number 410. It's now out of print. So this is a title that's out of print and may have been out of print for some time. It was available on DVD, and it is Spine 410, film from 1984 called Under the Volcano. So very interesting. And then you have Wise Blood, which is available on DVD. It's from 1979, is Spine 470. So that's interesting. John Huston's Wise Blood. Okay. Very, very interesting. So a couple of titles in the collection from John Huston, but the one that I'm familiar with that I've seen before that stars Sterling Hayden, absolutely brilliant. The Asphalt Jungle. Brilliant film from 1950, 112 minutes in black and white. This is an excellent film that I highly, highly recommend from John Huston. So yeah, that's The Dead from John Huston, getting a 4K release. So very excited about that. That now brings us to second to last title coming out in the month of January. We got two titles coming out January 27th, starting with this film, which is another film starring Nicole Kidman. Now, Nicole Kidman has gotten a lot of love recently in the Criterion collection. This time it's a film from Jonathan Glazer, and this is Jonathan Glazer's first film in the collection. So this will be his entry in the Criterion collection. So that is very exciting. So we're super excited about that. But for Nicole Kidman, she's had some really cool entries in the Criterion collection of recent times here, including this title right here, Spine 1195, The Others, which is absolutely phenomenal. Fantastic film from Alejandro Amenabar from 2001. So that is an excellent film that I highly, highly recommend. Oops, sorry. Don't want to mess up the crown here. Sorry, Charles. And then To Die For, To Die For from Gus Van Sant. Brilliant film, 12 Spy and 1213. So that's another film starring Nicole Kidman. So we've definitely gotten some, for those of you who are Nicole Kidman fans, this is a great time to follow Criterion because we're getting some Criterion titles starring this incredible actress. And the latest one coming out in January is Birth from Jonathan Glazer. So this is his second feature. It is a haunting cinematic enigma that explores the mysteries of the heart. Nicole Kidman delivers a masterfully multi-layered performance as Anna, a widow still mourning the death of her husband a decade earlier when she meets Sean Cameron Bright, a 10-year-old boy who claims to be his reincarnation, leading her into a wrenching confrontation with her own unresolved grief and desires. So, very interesting premise. This is from 2004. This is a new 4K digital restoration supervised and approved by director Jonathan Glazer with a 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio soundtrack. This is coming out January 27th on 4K Blu-ray combo pack and Blu-ray. This will feature Dolby Vision, so that is awesome to see. We got a 2004 interview with Glazer and actor Nicole Kidman on Charlie Rose from 2004, so a 21-year-old interview, and a new documentary on the making of the film, as well as a new program on the film's cinematography. So very, very cool, featuring behind-the-scenes footage and interviews. Featuring interviews with camera operator Craig Hankinson and first assistant cameraman Eric Swanick. Awesome. But yeah, this is Nicole Kidman. We'll play a little brief snippet here. Okay. So yeah, just gives you a little bit of the visual there. But yeah, very fascinating story. I've heard this film before, but I've never seen it. So let me know in the comments section what you think about Birth. Got Nicole Kidman in it, so it's got to be hopefully pretty good. Which then brings us to the last title coming out in the month of January. And this is a title that's been long rumored to come out in Criterion, and it is now finally upon us. We have now gotten the announcement of Kiss of the Spiderwoman. This is a film that features indelible performances from Raul Julia and an Academy Award winning William Hurt. Kiss of the Spiderwoman is a work of radical compassion that boldly expands notions of love, gender, and revolution. In the film, directed by Hector Babinko following his international breakthrough with Pixote and adapted from the novel by the iconoclastic writer Manuel Puig, Julia and Hurt play Valentin and Molina, a militant leftist activist and a queer cinema-obsessed window dresser, imprisoned together under a repressive military dictatorship. The two gradually forge a bond that transforms the way they both understand politics, sexuality, and masculinity. Blending raw realism with Molina's imaginative escapes into sumptuous movie fantasy, this searing human drama offers a powerful vision of personal liberation embedded within broader political struggle. So very interesting. I've never seen this film before. Apparently William Hurt won an Academy Award for his role in this film. This is a film from the United States and Brazil from 1985, 120 minutes. It's in color and black and white. And it is coming in at spine number 1299. So in February, we ought to get spine 1300. So that sets up a little bit of an anticipation of what will spine 1300 be in February. So we'll learn that in about a month, around the middle of the Barnes & Noble sale. We'll hear about the spine number 1300. Or maybe before then, we shall see. But this is a new 4K digital restoration with 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio soundtrack. We are getting Dolby Vision on this release, which is great. This will be a 4K Blu-ray combo offering as well as Blu-ray, no DVD. And we do get a couple of features here, documentary and interesting. an interview. So not a ton of features, but definitely interesting. So you have here William Hurt and Raul Julia here. You have some pictures here of them. Very interesting. Kiss of the Spider-Woman. Very interesting. Yeah, this is this is a film I've never seen before, but definitely want to hear in the comments section what you all think of this movie. So let me go out here and let me just give a quick perusal of where my interest lies for the month of January. For me, Yee Yee is probably at the top of the list for me. Definitely want to check this one out. I plan to pick this one up in January and do a review on this channel of Yee Yee from Edward Yang. So look for that around the middle of January on this channel. And then definitely plan to get Captain Blood. Super excited about that. Definitely looking forward to picking up The Dead and Birth. Those are the four that I'm really kind of honed in on for the month of January. Kiss of the Spider-Woman, we shall see. I'll have to do a little bit more research on that one. But definitely Yee Yee, Captain Blood, The Dead, and Birth are where my interests lie. But I want to hear where your interest lies. What titles are you super excited about for the month of January? So let's see what you all are saying here. You are saying Chronicle of the Years of Fire won the Palme d'Or at the 1975 Cannes Film Festival. Okay. And then the new 5-hour doc about Scorsese coming to Apple TV. That's interesting. Okay. See, people are excited about a new World Cinema box set coming out. See, someone's asking, Olivia was in Gone with the Wind, right? Well, let's see. Let us see. Gone with the Wind. You got me curious. Okay, there's no way you can ask a question like that and I not look it up. I've got to see. I've got to see. Now, the cast, who is in this film? Stars. Who does it star? Vivian Lee, of course. Olivia de Havilland. Yes. She plays Melanie Hamilton, Wilkes' cousin. So, yes. So she does appear in Gone with the Wind. So let's see. Hey, James. Oh, yes. The Heiress is a good one. Oh, 100%. Check that one out for sure. Michael Curtiz is one of those directors no one really talks about yet. Everyone knows his films, even if they haven't seen it. Can't wait to see Captain Blood. Yeah. I mean, Michael Curtiz gave us Casablanca. He gave us Breaking Point. Great stuff. Great stuff. I believe Captain Blood was rumored to come out for about a decade. It was around the time Criterion began to license WB titles. Well, it is now finally here. I haven't seen any Errol Flynn, only seen many films imitate him. Yes. Same here. Same here. Speaking of John Huston, I recently rewatched his film, The Asphalt Jungle. I'd like to see a 4K release of that title. It could happen. It could happen. The Dead sounds amazing. Totally agree. I'm looking forward to it as well. Super, super excited. Let's see. Scuba 5 Cuba. Steve says, so excited for The Dead, Kiss of the Spider-Woman. Both of those I saw in a theater when they were released and just mind-blowingly awesome. Yeah, I've got to check that out. Not a huge Nicole fan. I understand. I was fortunate enough to see Glazer's personal 35mm silver nitrate print of Birth after the death of Harris Savides, hoping the 4K restoration will look as good as that did. Cool. Houston's Wise Blood is very good and really offbeat. Pity it hasn't been upgraded to Blu-ray or 4K. Okay. Let's see. Steve says, don't forget Nicole coming next month in Eyes Wide Shut. That's right. Yeah. I mean, this is the age of Nicole Kidman on the Criterion collection. So good reminder. Absolutely. Thank you, Steve. I'll be getting Kiss of the Spider-Woman in the spring flash sale. Okay. Nice. Amazing that we got 2 William Hurt films on 4K announced so close to one another. Remind me what the other one is. I forget. I meant to say The Dead was from a James Joyce novel. Yep. Criterion is getting all my spare cash. Oh my goodness. Yep, three with the history of violence. Oh, okay. Yes, yes, yes. History of violence. Yep. Okay. Let's see here. Yee Yee is such a fantastic film. You just feel like the characters are friends and family. Nice, 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 nice. Magnitude Rev says, interesting to note that Kiss of the Spider-Woman has a brand new remake that's currently in limited theaters starring Jennifer Lopez and Diego Luna. Okay. I did not know that. Oh, Altered States is the other William Hurt. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder there. Yeah, so that's Altered States, History of Violence with Viggo Mortensen, and Kiss of the Spider-Woman. Yeah. So a lot of William Hurt love, a lot of Nicole Kidman love. If you're fans of William Hurt and Nicole Kidman, Criterion, you are getting served. You are getting served by Criterion with these titles. So awesome. I may have missed it, but does Criterion have any more Errol Flynn? I don't believe so. I think the Captain Blood will be the first Errol Flynn entry in Criterion, I believe is the case. I have to watch Yee in my back catalog to see if it's worth the upgrade. Yeah, I've never picked it up, so I'm looking forward to picking it up for sure. Let's see. I like Diego Luna, not so much Jennifer Lopez. Okay. And also William Hurt was in Big Chill. Yeah, I've never picked up the Big Chill. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never picked up the Big Chill. Let me know if y'all have that, if you think that's worth picking up. But yeah, everybody, I am super excited about this slate of titles for the month of January. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about these titles, and let me let you know what is coming up soon on this channel. So, what is coming up on the channel? Of course, we're in the month of October. You know, it's the month of horror films and scares. I'm not the biggest horror movie fan in the world, but what I am a fan of is I like thrillers. I like suspense thrillers more so than slashers or horror films. Um, so I'm going to have a Chills Without Chainsaws top 10 Criterion and other boutique label thrillers for October. I'm gonna be putting that video out probably this weekend. So definitely check that out on this channel. It's just 10 titles that are in that thriller category more so than horror category, including The Silence of the Lambs. So I'll talk about my Criterion edition of that as well as my Kino Lorber 4K, and I'll cover 9 other titles or so from Criterion and Arrow and different but boutique labels that are more in the suspense genre era. Excellent titles to think about watching in the month of October or any time for that matter. We'll do the coverage for the 50% off flash sale and Barnes Noble sale whenever those sales happen. And then of course, not this weekend, but the following weekend, look for my review of Night of the Juggler Kino Lorber 4K. So I recently watched that 4K this past weekend, Night of the Juggler. This is a film from 1980 starring James Brolin that really enjoyed this film. James Brolin, Cliff Gorman, and it's a really enjoyable like chase type film. This is a man, Cliff Gorman, who kidnaps James Brolin's character's daughter in this film, and it's basically a chase film. They're trying to hunt this man down and recover his daughter, and it's just a very interesting film set in New York City. So you have that New York City vibe of 1970s New York. It was shot in 1978, came out in 1980, and it is a really really cool film. If you like that 70s vibe in New York City, think you might enjoy settling in with a title like this. So I plan to do a review of that title, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. And super excited about the Criterion sales coming up and sharing some of my Chills Without Chainsaws top 10 list. So yeah, those are some of the things coming up on this channel. But let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of Criterion's January 2026 slate? Let me know what you think of these titles. What titles do you plan to pick up? Do you plan to pick up the entire slate? One title, two titles, nothing? Let me know all that in the comment section below. I do appreciate you all joining this evening, and I will catch a few more of these remarks. Here I am with you. Suspense is where it's at. love suspense. I love suspense. That's why Hitchcock is my favorite, the master of suspense. So suspense is a lost art. I'll need to think about my picks. And let's see here. James, have you ever seen The Uninvited with Ray Milland? That's a pretty good chill movie. I have not. I have not seen that one. So I will have to check that one out. Let's see. Did you notice the doubled scene in Juggler? I did not. I did not. I'll have to check. I'll have to revisit that. So I may have to check that one out. But yeah, again, thank you all for joining tonight. And if you catch this on replay, want to hear from you in the comment section as well. What titles you're excited for the month of January 26th from Criterion. Let me know all that in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. God bless. Peace.